it's like that. It's like what? It's like this, y'all. You can never see me at all. So stylish, I'm even styling with my flaws. Who am I kidding? My shit is the illest. Let me admit it. Get diminished in the scrimmage. Your written is all bitten.
Alright, I'm Linsey with EFG Media, and we're here with Mc Wicks.
What up, what up? Shout out to EFG. Shout out to Eddie G behind the lens making it happen, man.
We're about to get real personal in here.
Yeah, it's like this. Right? It's like that. It's like what? It's like this.
Okay, so I just want to start by talking about, you got started doing battle rapping, but how old do you remember yourself being when you found out you had a passion for hip-hop and that was what you wanted to do?
I kind of knew as soon as I started rapping, like, the first day that I ever rhymed, I was 13 in middle school. We did like a little cypher, and I was just playing around, and I was really good, and I was really good. I sound like an asshole, huh? Well, people told me I was really good. They might have been lying. They might have been gassing me up, but they pretended I was really good, and it felt good to be dope. And I got a reaction off of people for speaking my mind and expressing myself. And I've always been quiet before then. I'm still kind of quiet to this day, so it just felt good to have an outlet. So as soon as I started it, I was like, oh shit, now I could express myself, and it just feels good. So right away, most people rhyme for like 4 or 5 years before, like playing around until they get serious, but for me it was immediately, I knew this is what I wanted to do.
Yeah. So you've had quite a bit of recognition already. You've had a video that's went pretty viral with fat bitches.
Dedicated to you big assholes. It's dedicated to you big assholes. This dedicated to you big fat bitches. Dedicated to you big fat bitches.
How was that? How did that feel being recognized for something
I was
like that?
really crazy because I wrote a lot of stuff and put a lot of time and energy into a lot of music for a long time. Even though I'm young, I got a pretty good catalog. Like, I'm always consistently making music. But with that, I just got a brand new phone. And my old phone, I used to like freestyle on it. But the microphone part like fucked up, so all my videos were sounding shitty. So I stopped the freestyle videos, and when I got my new phone, that was the first thing I did. And I freestyled about fat girls, and it was like the stupidest, easiest ABC rhyme, and everybody just loved it. Right now, it got like 950,000 on Facebook. On World Star Hip Hop, it got 250,000. On YouTube, it got like 30,000, and it's like sometimes just the most simple, natural things is what captures the people,
I mean, today we were out and you get recognized by people on the street, people driving down the street recognize you. Is that a strange thing for you? Have you gotten used to that?
When it first happened, I used to be shocked a lot because it started happening a little bit towards like maybe when I was like 19 or 20. So before I was really able to go into like venues, people just knew me off of YouTube, and I thought that was crazy. I didn't really think a lot of local Fresno people were checking for Fresno artists on the internet. So that was when it was kind of shocking. But now that I've done like big things like the Slick Rick Show, Andre Nicotina, Grizzly Fest, now it's not so surprising, but I appreciate it all the time. Like, I always tell people, sometimes people tell me like on Facebook, it's always weird and awkward, like, oh, I seen you, yo, I wanted to say hi. Like, why are you scared to say hi? Like, I'm fucking, dude, I got bodyguards around me and shit. Just say hi. If anyone ever sees me, say hi. Take a picture. If you want to give me a hug, I'm cool with hugs.
All about it.
Unless you're really sweaty, then give me an air high five. Nah, even if you're sweaty, it's okay. I got love for you.
So I've seen you perform a few times now, and at both performances I've seen, you really like to get the crowd involved, get the crowd chanting back to you. Is that like the energy from the crowd? Do you think that affects your performance?
Well, I feel like everybody, they want to be a part of something.
Right.
They don't want to feel like they're just there, just standing there. So to include them, it makes it fun for you and the audience. And I think that's really the ultimate goal, is the more fun you have, the more fun they have. And I just want to keep them a part of this show, a part of the production, part of the promotion, and a part of everything. So that is definitely my favorite part, to interact with them on stage and off stage.
Fresno City! Fresno City! Fresno City! Fresno City! Oh, I love it, I love it, I love it. love y'all, man.
It elevates your game. Like, I want to be a Fresno. If I ever succeed and go to the next level, I want to be like the people's champ, you know?
Right.
I've heard people tell me things like that I go to too many shows and I'm always like talking to too much people that I got to hang out in VIP or stay backstage. Mm-hmm. You got to, they say to be like Mystique or be hard to get to because it's a bigger deal when they meet you, but I don't want to fake the funk. I'm a simple man from Fresno, born and raised, and I got love for the city. I got love for the people, so maybe that might be my downfall, but as long as I'm loved in my city, that's all that matters and shit.
So talking about the city, how do you feel about the local hip-hop scene right now?
Right now, it's pretty good, actually. There's, I listen to, like, Fresno hip-hop as a whole. Like, a lot of my favorite things from the scene are actually from, like, the 90s and early 2000s. And they're the few young people that I like SM, Kaleidoscope. But it's cool that there's, like, newer faces popping up on the scene, like the Trees. They're doing their thing right now. VK, The Points started doing their thing. My boy Left Coast, Tabletop. There's some dope producers. So the roster is growing. And I say, like, as much as I love Fresno hip-hop, we got a big-ass roster if you look at the scene as a whole. But if you look at people that are active right now, it's so small. And we can't have that if we want to make a movement. We need, like, 30 motherfuckers cracking off. Yeah. We need 30 dope, active MCs on the scene to really make this something big. Yeah. People think that only one person should make it at a time, but we need 5 people international in Fresno, at least until the world starts looking at us in it.
Yeah, put Fresno on the map.
Yeah, because if you think about down south or you think about Brooklyn, if you can name 5 Brooklyn rappers, 5 Detroit rappers. If you talk about Fresno, they're only going to say Planet Asia and Fast Shine. Respect to the legends, but we need to add more to that roster, you feel me?
Right.
So I'm trying to be next step, hopefully.
So out of all the local places, where's your favorite place that you performed at so far?
Damn, that's a really good question. You know what? It's a smaller place, and they're not open no more, but for a while they had this thing called Love the Captive, and my homie Johnny Q, he used to run it, and it was like this super underground spot, and it used to get so cracking. And at the time, I was when I was young, I missed out on a lot of like good shows and a lot of dope shit. Like my favorite, one of my favorite MCs, Sean Price, came to Fresno, and I wanted to go and I couldn't go, and I was like, well, I've seen dinosaurs rap before. I'll see him when he's like 50 years old. Yeah. And then he like passed away like 4 or 5 years later. So I was like, damn, I was just born in the wrong time.
Yeah.
But Love the Captive, they saved, I think, my teenage years of being on the scene. Battle rap and Love the Captive, I was accepted there. I could be in there at a young age. Yeah. So that has to be my favorite place for sure. It's where I got my feet wet.
Yeah. So what about the cypher that you did with KRS-One?
That was crazy. I actually did 2. The first hip-hop show I ever went to, it was at Fresno State. I think it was in 2011. And it was crazy. They wouldn't allow everybody in there. They said that it might get rowdy or it might get violent because it's hip-hop. Even though he like a part of the Stop the Violence movement, it was weird. But I was like a nerd, so I was like I was there right away early for the lecture, and then I was first in line to get in the show, so I got to make it. And I freestyled with him there at a very small, intimate show, and then after the show, he took me backstage, and he dropped like some game on me and some knowledge, and he gave me his book. And he said one thing that always stuck with me. He said, one day, I'm going to pass you the mic. And every once in a while, I'd come back in my head like, damn, that's crazy. He said, I'm going to pass you the mic. And it would always come back into my mind. I go, damn, that'd be crazy if that ever really actually got to happen. Yeah. And then a few years back, he came to Fresno again at Phone 55. Mm-hmm. And he had a show there. And they did the same thing, a cypher at the end. And I got on the stage and he remembered me. He's like, oh, shit, hey, I remember you. His wife remembered me. And they started the cypher and he gave me the mic first. Wow. So it's kind of crazy. He kind of predicted the future. He kept his promise. So yeah. That's pretty cool. That's a little backstory behind that.
Yeah. So you have a newer album that just came out in February, Buffet. You want to talk about the inspiration behind that?
The Buffet pretty much is, I I think you can feel a lot of my hunger in there. And it's about being in the struggle, and it's about the hunger pains and shit. But at the same time, it's about trying to make a transition into not being hungry. I'm going to get everything I could get out of this world. I'm going to get all I can eat. I'm going to eat until my intestines explode. So it's about being broke, but it's like, it's to that level where you're like, fuck that shit. I don't accept this. I'm not going to be like this forever. I'm going to get some shit. I'm going to get some money in my pocket. Fuck the bullshit. Yeah. So yeah, it's about being broke, but like, you're over with it. It's time to get rich. Fuck that broke shit.
Being on the grind.
Yeah.
And so where can people find your music right now?
I got I got the majority of my music on iTunes, Spotify, but the place I recommend you go is to Bandcamp, mcwicks.bandcamp.com, because when man, the music game is crazy, man. This percentage goes here, like the internet, they're all raping your pockets. Mm-hmm. But Bandcamp, they take a very small percentage and it goes directly to the artist. So if you want to feel like you're being the most supportive, the best place to buy music from artists is Bandcamp or a physical CD in person. Before I head out, I just want to give a shout out to Ocho Studios. I want to give a shout out to EFG and pretty much all the people that are supporting the music, all of the fans. I like to call them supporters, all the supporters. And that's it really, just the people, the studio, and the guy behind the lens. Peace. I'm gonna take a picture of you right here with my manager.
Black girl, the blazer.
You always flip it off the camera and say, you're like Tupac.